Americans will cast their final ballots today, but this year's tight race could mean a longer wait for voters until the 60th president-elect begins their term. There's even a scenario where Kamala Harris and Donald Trump could end up with exactly 269 electoral votes, sparking a fierce political showdown. In that case, it wouldn't be the people who decide, but Congress, opening the door to high-stakes maneuvering and state-by-state voting. It's a race racked with twists and a whole lot of turns. Here's more from our report.
Today, voters across the U.S. will decide their next president. It's a nail-biting battle, but there's a slight chance that we could all see a rare outcome, a tie. How could this happen? It's all due to the U.S. Electoral College system. And here's how it works. The Electoral College holds 538 votes in total. To win, a candidate must claim at least 270 of those votes. But if Harris and Trump each secure exactly 269 votes, America will witness a perfect tie. Historically, such deadlocks are rare but not impossible. They have only happened twice, once in 1800 and then 1824. In the year 1800, Thomas Jefferson and his running mate Aaron Burr each got the same number of votes. After a tense standoff, the decision went to the House of Representatives, where each state cast one vote. Eventually, Jefferson was chosen, but the experience was so chaotic that the U.S. introduced the 12th Amendment. This amendment ensured separate ballots for the president and vice president, aiming to prevent future ties between running mates. Then fast forward to 1824. That election saw 4 contenders, with none gaining the majority of electoral votes. The House again stepped in and chose John Quincy Adams over Andrew Jackson. The same House decides rule still stands today, if a tie or lack of majority occurs. Now, if Kamala Harris and Donald Trump end up tied at 269 votes each, the House would once more be called upon to decide the presidency. But here is where it gets interesting. Each state delegation in the House casts one vote. So small states like Wyoming have the same influence as massive ones like California. To win, one candidate needs a simple majority of 26 states. But the twist is, each state's vote could be influenced by party loyalties rather than the state's popular vote. If no president is chosen by January 6, 2025, the Senate takes on the vice presidential selection. If still undecided by Inauguration Day on January 20th, a chosen vice president could step in as acting president until a decision is made. This could potentially lead to a split executive branch with a president from one party and a vice president from another. So while a tie remains improbable, the stakes are high and uncertainty hangs in the air. This election could be remembered as a turning point not just in results, but in testing the U.S. electoral process's resilience and adaptability.
Washington is all set for a presidential battle like no other.
In less than 90 days, it's either going to be him or me sitting in the Oval Office.
Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump.
All we want is one simple thing: get out on Tuesday.
A vice president versus a former president. As we head towards election night, Vantage will be live from the heart of the action. Speaking to voters in this final stretch,
I'm still very undecided.
Very close presidential race.
Tracking the campaigns as they make the last push. From exclusive ground reports to in-depth analysis, this is your one-stop destination for the presidential race. Join us on this special edition of Vantage, live from the White House in Washington, D.C.